Hi everyone, I am Sherin Christina. I am pursuing my diploma in Segi College, Penang. Today I would like to share a video regarding a dog shelter in Penang. Currently the shelter has more than 600 dogs, which has exceeded the limit it can hold the number of dogs in it. Even though the shelter is already full, but this lady, or commonly known as Auntie Barbara, still accepts and rescues in more dogs because of the amazing love she has towards these abandoned dogs. You can now watch the video to get a better understanding of what this video was made for. Hope you all would enjoy the video and can support a little to the shelter after watching it.
My name is Barbara Janssen. I'm from Germany and I'm the president and founder of Four Paws here on Penang Island.
First of all, can you tell us about yourself?
Maybe the story how I come here to Penang.
Yeah.
Okay, I came here in 2006 for retirement. So then I bought a house, an apartment here, and when I went to the lawyer for all the signatures and everything, then after that was done, we were like celebrating. So while we were eating in Batu Ferringhi in a restaurant, I saw two little puppies on the roadside, Tiger and Linus. So they were running, and then I jump up, I say, what is that? Two puppies, and they say they are strays. Strays, I never heard the word before. Street dogs, yes, but strays, never. So I said, what is a stray? A dog that lives on the road? I say, you mean a street dog? Okay. So then I say, I try to find the owner. So I run around everywhere and I found information. I don't find the owner, but I found information. The owner has left his property and left these two dogs behind, only took the mother dog. So I cannot leave them on the road. They were so small, maybe 6 to 8 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, I think, around that. So I took them and I brought them. I was living in the hotel that time, in baby hotel. So I took them back, and to my friend, he had a boat, he was renting out boats beside the baby hotel. I said, can you take him in one of your cages? And he said yes. So that was the thing that I left them there until I moved. Half a year later I moved. All this half a year they were in a boarding in Ipoh. So all the story, these were my truths, and I think this is the thing that I started with dogs. You know, there's something very important must happen in your life that you change your mind from this. So then I had one dog myself. And when I come with all my stuff, and then I said, meet the manager and said, okay, I'm moving in with my dog. And then he said, no, dogs are not allowed in the apartment. And I never heard it. I was furious. I was so angry. Then I said, okay, I don't want the apartment. He said, you bought it, you cannot sell it. I say, I can. So, okay, never mind. I sold it immediately. And and then I moved into rented places and got more and more dogs. Of course, here in this country is a little bit difficult. So I end up with 600 dogs here in the shelter. So that's the history of Four Paws.
The second question, how did you get the idea of starting a dog shelter and why did you choose Penang?
No, that's why we start the second part first. Why I choose Penang is because my parents live in Indonesia after retirement, and they live on a small island. And my father bought a very big ship, you know, like doing this, and it was fantastic. And my parents asked me to come after retirement and live on their island. But it's in the middle of nowhere, and nobody else except my parents live on this island. So I said, okay, I'm a businesswoman, I cannot live like that. I said, slowly. So then I said, okay, I try and think. So then next year, the following year, my father passed away. So my mother was alone. So I told her and said, okay, I stopped my job and my company and clothes, everything, I come, but definitely not on an island. I cannot be like that. You know, I was surrounded by, I have 11 workers, we have 3 branches, I was responsible for everything. So then, okay, so we traveled around, my mother and me, and we traveled around to whole Malaysia, coming from Indonesia, going over Singapore and then in, okay? So we traveled, and my mother also, she had a friend, she know from the government from Kuala Lumpur. So he said, come to Malaysia and take around. And then I said, okay, I come. So we traveled, we hired a man, and we traveled all over Malaysia. We make one big round, and when we nearly on the way to go back to KL, then he said, I said, we have seen everything, and he said, not really, you haven't seen Penang. So then I come, I already get my goosebumps, I know it. So then I say, okay, let's stay in Penang or go to Penang. So we crossed the bridge. The moment, you see it's coming up, the moment I crossed the bridge, I was totally quiet. And then our driver and my friend also, he said, why are you so quiet? All the time you are talking and now it's like cut off. I said, I don't know, I have the feeling I'm coming home. So then he showed me Penang one round here, and then I decided to go to Batu Ferringhi and bought the apartment there. So this is the reason why, because I want to be with my mother. So I moved here in 2006 in March. Unfortunately, 2005 in December, my mother passed away. So I came into a country totally alone. I didn't know what to do, nothing else. So you have no friends, you know very little people only. Okay, what to do? And all my furniture was on the big ship, you know, like cargo all here. So I couldn't even go back. My house was rented out. So what to do? So I had to jump and go into this new life. That's the thing. So what was the second part?
How did you have the idea to start the shelter?
Yeah, okay. The two dogs, the 2 puppies, I told you already. So when I moved in, I found want to move in. I found a third puppy, of course, on the same beach. So I had Lucky. Lucky was the third dog, and then I moved into a row house in what is that, Mount Pleasure, and there's somebody said, you have 2-3 dogs, can you take in another one? So when I left this place, I had already 6 dogs. From there, I moved into Tanjung Bunga, I had 12 dogs. From Tanjung Bunga, when the people start to complain about so many dogs, but they were so quiet, now they complain, I moved to Janssen. So my vet said, Barbara, this was the worst idea you ever had. I said, why? The property is so huge, where's the problem? He said, these people are different, you will see it. And he was right. After 1 year, they complained. Meanwhile, I had about 46 dogs. And then, but we were doing jobs with the dogs. Our dogs were, you know, for people that have autism. So the people were coming to our shelter, and we were talking and let them touch the dogs, and they never talk one single word. And they started to bond with the dogs, and then they start to talk after they never ever said one single word. So actually the result was very good. It was in the newspaper all over, and I also presented this article to the DBS department, and they say it's a great job. So they were very proud, but still they threw me out. So then from there, from Janssen, 46 dogs. Then I didn't know what to do. And then my friend said, come to Ipoh. I say, okay. I moved to Ipoh, but I have to see the property first. She said, yeah, I found one. It's on the hill. You are quite alone. It's very beautiful. It's very big. You will love it. So I went there, checked everything. I say, okay, in the middle of nowhere, but what to do? So then I come back home. I asked my gardener and said, are you willing to take all my plants? Because I'm not only for dogs, I'm also for trees, flowers, I said, can you take all my plants and replant it in Ipoh? And he said, of course. And then he said, but what are you doing in Ipoh? I said, they chased me out here. They don't want me with so many dogs. And he said, they are so well behaving. I said, yes, never mind, whatever, I have to go. And then he said, okay, give me 1 week, I'll find a place for you here. So we found this one, and he is my neighbor now. So the Freddie Walker Landscaping Company, I really appreciate what he has done for me, and this is why I'm here. He's not the owner of this property, but it's his main worker. He is the owner of the property. So I found this property, and then it was not very nice at the beginning, but we make it so beautiful, and now it's really a paradise for dogs. Huh?
Yeah. Compared to other shelters, Papa's shelter dogs are not caged. And do you have any reasons for it?
Yeah, because there's one thing what I learned. It's maybe a very short story. When I was a young lady, I had my office, and then opposite our office I heard some dogs barking. So I asked my secretary to check it out, and she went and she said, yeah, there are some puppies. I said, puppies? Yeah, okay. So we went to the place. There were 6 puppies, and ended up that I adopted one in my house. So I took the puppy in, and then I said to my mother some days later, it's so difficult because I never had a puppy. I had bigger dog, yeah, but never ever a puppy. I say, how to treat a puppy? And then she said to me, okay, a dog is not very far away from a human. You have 2 children and you don't know how to treat a puppy? I say, no, not really. And then she said, treat it the same way like your children. They have time to play, they have time to rest, they have to eat 3 meals a day. Everything like you would do when this is a baby, you do to your dogs. And this is what I'm doing. If you have a child, you will not put it on a metal chain or cage it up. The cat will run, but they have places when they have to sleep and to rest. My dogs also, they are like a huge family. They are never ever locked up, and I try to do things for them to be happy, like the swimming pool or what. They have a big swimming pool inside, so they are really happy. But I will never ever cage up a dog. Besides, it's not allowed in Germany. No, I mean, for say like that, you have a property and you have to put your car out and the dog will run away or whatever, then of course you have to put him in a cage for 5 minutes. That's okay. Or you go out for 1 hour and said, I'm scared he will jump over the wall, or so put him in a cage for that time. This is a short time, that's okay. But I cannot even remember that my dog in Germany ever barked. Was always quiet, except he was chasing the rabbit in the forest. Then he was barking, but otherwise, no. So you have to walk with the dogs, you have to, you know, like children, they have to have their fun. Then they are tired and they are not like disturbing anyone. All my dogs live together. They are not, they get along very well. So.
Yeah. Do you have any regular sponsors?
We have some regular sponsors that help us from the beginning, and I mean, it's not enough, of course, but I really appreciate what they are doing for all this time already, and they help me. This is really good, but otherwise it depends on the stories or whatever, on everything like that. So then they see there's money needed, or we write SOS for rice. I get so much rice now, this is good, or SOS for that, then they are responding, is good. And of course the Sunday, when they see and they talk about what need is there, then they help also. Okay.
Next one, monthly, how much you need to spend for the shelter?
35,000.
Oh, so it's like a night, you have to spend that.
Yes, 35,000 a month. It's nearly always the same amount with all the dogs for spaying, neutering, for the vet expenses, for the food. It's always the same amount because we try to keep our level from the dogs around 600. It's not exactly 600, but so this is what I can handle. And if it's getting more and more, I cannot handle it anymore. And I also have to respect the boys. They cannot do more. So this is they are filled up until here, enough.
Okay. Do you spend enough money for yourself?
No, I'm mostly not like this. Very little only.
Okay.
You know that already.
Okay.
No, very little. I'm not going for shopping or going anything expensive stuff. Mostly, no, in my dogs.
Yeah.
And it makes me happy. It's not that I complain about it. It makes me happy to see my dogs happy. That's more important.
Do you keep count of how many dogs you have in the shelter, like right now?
Yeah, this is what I said. We are not counting our dogs. We say what's going in and what's going out. So if we say we give 2 dogs out, like yesterday, the day before yesterday, 2 grown-up dogs out. Today I took 2 grown-up dogs in. So I'm not counting the whole stuff. I'm counting what's going in and out. So that's why I said it's not exactly 600, but I keep the level like that. I only see going in, going out.
Okay. At any point of your life, did you regret your decision on starting the shelter?
No.
Right. Expected answer.
No, because I tell you honestly, my whole life, I always have enough to live. I had enough money to do funny things. I had a good life, and I had a beautiful house. I had a gardener, I had a cleaning maid, I had a Porsche, everything. So that's one part of my life. When I came here, now I'm living here, like poverty actually. But when you ask me where I was really happy, there or here? Here. There's no question about it. And I think when you get older, then you will see the same. More important than to have so much money or this or that is that you have happiness. The happiness in your life, you cannot buy it. And when I'm not feeling well, and then these dogs, see, they are always around me. And then they come and hug you, and they sit here and kiss you, and they know exactly when I'm not feeling well, then they come close. You cannot pay it with money.
Yeah, true. Last but not least, what would you like to say to the community?
Yeah, what I would like to say is that actually it's much better compared to the time when I came here to Malaysia until now. The awareness with dogs, cats, whatever animals is better. It's not so cool anymore like at the beginning. But still the people have to think, we have to respect the animals. We have to respect not only animals, also trees, plants, everything, because all things like that is making our life. So if you destroy one or endanger one, your life will change, and it will not change to better, it will change to worse. And you can be sure it's very important. We have to respect the animals, we have to see what's coming out, and we have to protect them. We cannot simply dump them. That's what I said before. Treat them like your family. Yes. Like your family. If you treat them like your family, as long as you treat your family well, okay, treat them like a family, and then everything is fine. And respect that they don't give unwanted babies that you throw on the road. Don't do it. It's like dumping a baby on the road. Yeah. So they have feelings. Their feelings are much more emotional than our feelings. A dog knows exactly what's going on. A dog knows what you think. You know what I say. A dog knows what I think. That's the difference.
That's all for me.
That's all?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Thank you, Auntie.
Yes, you're welcome. Okay.
Thank you.
So thanks for the lovely interview, giving me the opportunity and to talk like this. And the other thing is, if you want to experience for Paws and our doggy family, please come on a Sunday. Every Sunday is open 2 to 5, and your dogs will welcome you very happy. Hi.
so much to all those who watched and understood the importance and needs of a shelter. Auntie Barbara would be glad if you could help her in any way to make the shelter a better place for the dogs to live a healthy life. Also, don't forget to visit the shelter every Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. to spend some time with the dogs. All they need is love and nothing more from all of us. Thank you.